All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's so great to see you. Welcome back. We hope you had a wonderful lunch. We're kind of zipping through the day today. It is great to have you here. I am just going to go ahead and turn on our mute. Just a few housekeeping things to share with you as we kind of trickle back in and more folks are coming in. Just again, once again, we hope you're having a great day. The theme, the beat goes on. We just keep moving on strong and strong. And despite everything that's been going on the last couple of years, the sun is out today. It's 70 degrees. And I just feel like we're on really good footing to go forward. And there's a lot of great lessons learned and a lot of opportunities ahead for us and for the people that we serve, our participants. So just appreciate you being with us, supporting MACAE, supporting each other through some very difficult and challenging times. Don't forget, if you've got the sketch form, fill that out at the end of the conference. Be taking some notes though, because it will ask a couple of questions about things that you may have learned. Join us tonight for the virtual family feud. If you forgotten about that or don't have a team, no worries, just come on and join. It's fun for all. And just really appreciate you tuning in. And if you'd like to, you could go into the chat. I don't want to steal Brandi and Louie and Alex's thunder from their presentation because they sometimes have that as well. But you could say hello in the chat and they'll probably ask you to say hello as well. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our friends and our colleagues from Burlington English. And I just want to say a quick note about Brandi and Louie, especially in our state, is that they really are such great partners to us. They always check in and want to know how they can help, how things are going. They really offer a lot of support, a lot of resources on, hey, this is what we're seeing in other states. Have you thought about this? And they're just really great individuals, but also great professionals to work with. And so we really appreciate these two lovely people and their friend and colleague, Alex, for being here. So I'm going to turn it over to Brandi Cardwell. She's the regional consultant for Burlington English, and they will be presenting on what's new with Burlington English, prepare your students for academic and career success.
Thanks, Patrick. Hi, everybody. I am listed as a presenter today. I'm not presenting. I'm going to let Louie and Alex do all the hard work, but I did want to say hi. I think I know most of you, almost everybody out there. So thank you for joining us. I know there's some good sessions that you could be in, and I'm so happy you're with us. As Patrick said, our session is What's New with Burlington English, prepare your students for academic and career success. So in Patrick's opening session, he mentioned that we're here to hopefully learn something that's new. So Louie is going to give a nice update and show you some of the new courses that are available. My wonderful colleague Alex Rogers is here from Illinois to inspire you to try something new with Burlington English that you may have or have not tried yet. And then I'm hoping that I can reaffirm your belief that Burlington is here as it's a tool, and it is a tool for you as teachers and your students, but it really is here to help you do the amazing creative work that you do as teachers and administrators out there. And thank you for all you do. You are changing the world, making it a better place to be. Again, part of the support system for Michigan. So whenever you need Louie or I, any questions, we're here for you. So enjoy this session, and I will now pass it over to Louie.
Thank you, Brandi. Hello, everyone. I cannot stress how much I miss seeing you all in person. I cannot wait to get back out there. So I am just going to take probably about 20 minutes or so. Like Brandi said, I just want to go over a couple quick updates and show you one of our newer courses. So I'm going to share my screen and hopefully you guys can see it. Can everyone see my screen here? All right. So one of the first things I want to point out to you folks is something that came about strictly because of the input from all the wonderful teachers in Michigan. 3 years we've been trying to get something going. And I'm going to show you what we did here. One of the new features we have for you, again, strictly from you folks, we have new languages. Albanian, Armenian, okay? I'm going to scroll down here. We have Pashto, Polish, And what was the other one I'm missing? Pesto and Brandi, what was the last one?
Dari.
Dari, there it is. So 5 new languages that were added. Again, Albanian specifically for Michigan. We've been asking this, you've been asking for it for a couple years now. It came through. We're so excited and so thankful for your input. We take it to heart. Anything you bring to me or Brandi, we bring it to the programmers. We ask if it can be done, and we beg and plead and make sure it eventually does get done. One other language in here that I want to point out that kind of unfortunate that we have to be looking at it now is Ukrainian. I've talked to my friends in the state legislature, and they're obviously preparing for an influx of Ukrainian refugees, specifically in Region 10, where Warren houses the Ukrainian Village and the Ukrainian Culture Center. So I just want everyone to know we do have the Ukrainian translations. All right. So I'm going to get out of that. And again, thank you again for your input on that. That was huge for us. Okay. Another feature I want to point out that hopefully is a game changer for you. When we're typically assigning homework for our students in this virtual world, you know, you tell your students, okay, go to courses, go to general English, pick a color. Now we're going to be working in yellow, low beginner, and then tell them what module and lesson plan. And it's a step process and it's a learning curve for students. In January, we came out with an update that hopefully will make life easier for you. And that is in the top right corner next to your name is an envelope, and that's our messenger feature. Now, the one thing I do want to point out, this is not linked to your students' emails. It's linked strictly to their Burlington English account. So if you send them a message through Messenger, they'll log in and they'll see a number 1 that you had sent them a message, okay? How this works is, let's say I'm teaching high beginning and I did a whole in-class lesson, we'll say module 1, lesson 1. Okay, we went through, spent an hour and a half, we taught the lesson. Okay, now I want to tell my students, okay, so I want you to do high beginning, module 1, lesson 1. That's typically what we tell our students to do. Now what you can do, use the switcher, go to the student lesson, okay? And you know, it's intuitive, so it brings us directly to the same module and same lesson we were just in. You can copy and paste the URL at the top here. We'll highlight it, we'll copy it. I can go to my messenger and I can create a new message. Now, if I had more than one class, it would list all my classes here. I could select all, or I could select one class or 2 classes. Then it would list all the students that are in those classes. I could select all those students, or I could select a couple students, okay? I could type in here homework. I could click on this link. I would paste that URL in there, save it, and say homework, okay? Send it. So now, when my student logs in to Burlington English, they would see a 1 there. They would click on it, and they could click on, here's the message I just sent, homework, pulls up the course directly, and it brings them immediately to the exact course, the exact module that I want them to do in lesson. Okay. So again, it's not like you're trying to map out how to get to a specific lesson. You can send it directly to them. The really neat thing about the messenger, you can copy and paste any URL in the message. Okay. Let's say I saw an article in the Grand Rapids Press I wanted them to read. I can copy and paste that URL, put it in there. Okay. Anything on the internet with a URL, copy and paste it there, send it to your student. Okay. So those are 2 big updates for you. All right. Now I want to spend, I got to hurry through this. We only got an hour. So I could talk about this stuff forever. And a lot of you guys know that because you've had me in your classrooms forever. So one of our newest tiles, and it was created specifically for your IET and IELCE needs, is the English for Specific Careers here. Now, the English for Specific Careers tile It includes a broad range of word lists, soft skills, and courses for specific careers. And it's aimed at adults and young adults. It can be used by people in training for specific professions, people currently working professionally in those fields, or by those simply interested in exploring the world of a specific profession. All these courses in that tile can be used as standalone training or as an integrated part of a larger professional training course that you already offer. So when we open it up, it's going to be in 3 parts for you: the word list, soft skills, and courses. Okay. Just to go off on a tangent here, I have a search feature at the top. If I just click on the search feature, it's going to show me all the careers and in what area they're going to be located in. So agricultural careers and word lists. So that's all vocabulary, all the way down to, see, we're still in word lists. There's a lot. Okay. Soft skills. Okay. For HVAC or network, scroll all the way down. Now we're into courses, business, administrative. So everything and anything is in here. When we take a look at word lists, now the word lists include literally hundreds of words and phrases specific to each career. Now it also has activities provided, like extensive specialized vocabulary and pronunciation practice to help students gain that confidence and internalize the language necessary to be successful in that particular career. I will tell you, when we look at the word list, there's going to be 13 clusters, and in these 13 clusters, folks, are 43 careers represented. Now, again, these are word lists, so we can click on any one of them. Say let's look at agricultural workers. It's vocabulary. Okay. When I click on the vocabulary, it's going to show me all the vocabulary words specific for agricultural workers, the translations. Okay. I can click on a word. It's going to give me the word. I can listen to it. I can record it. But in word lists, it's also going to give me that vocabulary word in context. Okay. So I can listen to it in context.
He had an accident. He fell from the ladder.
And record it. All right. So they can understand how it's used. Also, anytime you see vocabulary page like this in the bottom right-hand corner, you're going to see the orange dot. I can click on it and it's going to pull up all the games. We try to gamify everything, make it fun. Adults love games. Kids love games. Who doesn't love games? Patrick loves games, for crying out loud. We're going to be playing them tonight for prizes. Okay. And all these games are geared towards listening, reading, and spelling. Okay. So they're already getting their speaking in the vocab practice itself. All right. So all that, my friends, that was in the word lists. Now, when we go to soft skills, these courses address the 4 language skills while teaching career-specific vocabulary, important soft skills such as how to go through the interview process, how to communicate with supervisors, their colleagues, and customers. Series includes jobs like dental. In this course, you can see right here, 18 courses in soft skills. Now, what's nice about this, when I click on it, okay, all student lessons are the same. There's going to be 6 of them. Okay. In whatever career you choose, number 1 is always going to be going for an interview, 2, getting a job, 3, training and safety, so on, all the way down to performance evaluations. Okay. So, and then they also have more vocabulary for those specific careers. Okay. Just like before, there's the words. The difference in this field is when I click on the vocabulary, it's just the vocabulary word. It's not going to be they don't have a sentence in context. Okay. Strictly vocabulary, so they can hear it, record it, and so on. And then, of course, play the games. Because we're all like Patrick, we all like games. Okay. St. Patrick. I love how somebody said that in the beginning. Yeah. And finally, our final course, and I'm running just on time. Good. Courses for specific careers. This is huge. Now, these courses offer extensive in-depth exploration of a wide range of professions. It helps students gain confidence and acquire the English they need to succeed in chosen careers. They're engaged with contextualized vocabulary and real life workplace scenarios. So here we're going to see we have, again, 13 clusters, just like in the word lists, except now there are 111 careers, okay, in courses. Going all the way down on the bottom, we also have a bonus for you. We have a travel and relocation tab, okay? 16 courses in travel and relocation. Everyday scenarios for your students. Healthcare, relocating housing, travel, relocate, how to get into a hotel, airport, shopping, just everyday scenarios. All right. So now this is just like it sounds, courses. So when you click on it, let's say we go into the ESL education. Hey, here we have a course planner for our teachers. Again, just like in courses, I know I'm in a teacher's account because I see two tabs that only teachers see, the course planner and the worksheets. Your students are going to see the student lessons, the vocab practice, and the progress. So if I go into course lesson planner, I'm the teacher. I can click on it. I can get some general introduction about that particular course, ideas for face-to-face activities, as well as the scope and sequence. In the worksheet section, okay, I have obviously a speaking and writing worksheets for my student, but for you as a teacher, you also have the course worksheet teacher notes, which are basically your lesson plans. Okay, I can open them up and just take a look for speaking and writing. And then we would just jump into the student lesson again, just like in core. Just, you could copy and paste, pick a lesson, copy and paste the URL, send it to your student. They can work in the course. Again, this is just something wonderful, something so unique to Burlington. I love this so much. Okay. But this hopefully will help your students, help you as an institution increase and meet your IET, IELCE goals. And my gosh, hopefully it helps your students again, either get a job, maintain their job, or be promoted in the workplace. That's our goal. So thank you for listening to me. I'm at 120, right on the nose, right about what I said I'd take Alex up to. Does anyone have any questions about those few things that I just covered real quick? Wow. You guys make a guy feel so good.
I'll chime in for a minute, Louie, and just because you know I have to. Catherine had a question about how to hide the courses, and you can hide courses from the students if you do not want them to have access to certain courses in that in their control in the teacher zone and control menu. They're still there.
Right here. Go to teacher zone. Okay. Student management. Okay. Control menu. So if I click on control menu right here, you would pick your student. You could pick your student. You could pick your class, course. So if I pick my student, I just have one student in mind. And then here's all the courses that are available, but they're all checked. Whatever I uncheck, my student no longer sees. Okay. They don't have access to it. Everything and anything is in there. Okay. Does that answer your question, Catherine?
Yeah, for some reason I wasn't connecting in my brain. Oh wait, they have access to everything. Oh yeah, I unchecked the boxes to get rid of that access.
And the number one reason you want to do it, like if you have a very low level, you don't want them to have access to advanced, high intermediate, low intermediate, things like that, because they're going to log in, they're jumping all over the place. It's hard for you to monitor the progress. Just limit it to what you want them to see, keep them focused and keep them on track.
But I wonder now if I should leave like all of the careers open so that way they can explore those careers on their own. Because usually I ask them, what sort of career are you interested or what's your background in? And I just open those ones. But I mean, who's to say that they can't explore a lot of different careers?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And by the way, can't stress it enough. All this stuff is available on their cell phone now. Everyone knows that. So they could be sitting at home and tired of watching Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune or something, just flip on their phone and start exploring some careers. Okay. Maybe they want to get into, take over Patrick's job, go into state, work, whatever. All right. Well, if there's no more questions, I am going to turn this over to Alex, and she is going to cover our very newest, latest and greatest component of Burlington. I think you guys are going to be very excited about.
Yes. Hello. So my name is Alex, and I am the customer representative and teacher trainer from Illinois. So they just picked me up from the state over and just brought me over here. I think that's how geography works. So we're going to be talking about our new Burlington Grammar section for today. And just really quickly before we begin, if you guys could use your reactions button and tell me how are your feelings towards grammar? So you can click any reaction you want. It's at the bottom. I see Maha. Oh, there's a lot of, those faces. We've got hearts, we've got claps, eye hearts. Yeah. I'm shocked no one picked like a 4-leaf clover for St. Patty's Day. All right. So we are going to dive into our new Burlington Grammar. But I thought we'd start it off with a discussion. So if you have been teaching with Burlington Core, what was the last grammar lesson you taught? And if you're not teaching with Burlington Core, what was the last grammar lesson that you taught? You can write it in the chat. You can unmute yourself if you're feeling brave. If you're like, I don't even know what I had for lunch, I don't remember, I understand that too. Let's not. Connections. Can. Comparative adjectives. Okay. Yeah. So I like how, so count, non-count nouns. I like how we have a very specific Burlington Core Low Intermediate. You remember exactly module 4, lesson number 2. Okay. So I'm actually
online, so I just looked it up real quick on my Google Classroom. We're supposed to do superlatives today, but I last minute got called to do the conference. So
I love that though. You could have said, yeah, I remember it verbatim. I'm really good at numbers. That works too. Okay, great. So we're going to look at what is Burlington Grammar. And can I please have a very brave volunteer in the audience to raise their virtual hand and read what is Burlington Grammar? I could pull the teacher card and just call on a person. Oh, Catherine. Thank you, Catherine.
Okay, what is Burlington Grammar? Burlington Grammar for beginners, intermediate, and advanced ESL students is a resource that can be used as a supplement to your curriculum. Teachers can dip into any of the 120 grammar lessons for expansion or additional practice as needed.
That was beautiful. So perfect. Thank you so much. And so something that we want to emphasize what Burlington Grammar is that it is supplemental. So for instance, Courtney was teaching in Burlington Core Low Intermediate Comparative Adjectives. So we're going to see how we can go from that lesson that she was already teaching and using Burlington Grammar as a supplement. And we're also going to see how to navigate there and how to connect and how to use the features. And something that you'll notice is that format, same exact thing as Burlington Core or as any Burlington English formatting. And of course, as long as your students have access to internet, they will have access to Burlington Grammar and all of Burlington English. So we're going to look at how to navigate there. And it's going to be in the courses tile. So Courtney was teaching comparative adjectives from low intermediate. And so maybe her students went and they did the student lesson, and then she went back and she looked at the progress and saw, oh, they need a little bit more help with comparative adjectives. So then you can go to our grammar. So you just jump from course and use our supplemental course for Burlington Grammar. And I'm going to cheat and use our Burlington Grammar Index, where I will show you in a bit where to find them. So you can, we have comparative adjectives right here, and it tells you what level and what lesson. But maybe you don't automatically, maybe this is alphabet order, maybe it's somewhere down here. You can always do the good old trick that I learned in college called Control Find, and you could do comparatives, and it will show you where you can find those. Another really cool thing about the Burlington Grammar Index is that you can click here for an Excel version of it. So if you wanted to download this Excel file for yourself, you can print it out, you can save it if you wanted to, and you can actually check off which ones you have done. And this is for people that love Excel spreadsheets. So I love an Excel spreadsheet. But we're going to look at comparative adjectives, which are in the advanced lesson 5. So if I go back to Burlington Grammar and I go into our advanced, we can look at the in-class lessons. So we know from the index that it is number 5. However, if you wanted to, Louis pointed out that we have a search bar in the the English for specific careers. We also have a search bar for the Burlington Grammar. Again, it is alphabetical, but if you actually know what you're looking for, you can always just type it in. So spelling rules, we have comparative adjectives. This will highlight, if you apply, it will find and highlight all the ones that you're looking for. If you click filter and apply, it will just single it out. So when you go in, you'll see immediately that this in-class lesson is just it's just one activity. And that is because it is showing you've already taught this lesson. So the in-class lesson is just repeating and reviewing the grammar rule with your students. So, we already did the grammar in Burlington Core, but we want to supplement and enhance on this lesson. So we have our grammar rule. Here, I'll zoom in. So we have our grammar rules that we can do. Page 1 and page 2. If we wanted to turn it into a lesson, we can totally do that with our toolbar as well. So I'm just going to focus in on this one. And let's see. I'm just going to, we'll use blue. So we can actually make a whole lesson out of this panel. Okay, so in the chat, can someone please help me with the first sentence? Can you please answer the first sentence? The blue suit is blank, the brown suit. So what are some comparative adjectives that we can use to compare the blue suit and the brown suit.
Uglier.
Uglier works. Catherine's saying better than, older than, larger than, gaudier than, cheaper than. So we can have our students write out their own sentences and go through it together. So what about the brown shirt now? Maybe the brown shirt is smaller than, warmer than, lavisher than, nicer than. So we can do that and we can go over and we can just, it's continuous practice and more repetition for the students. And then we can also go to page 2. So I just wanted to quickly show you what you can do to use the in-class lesson, because the in-class lesson is just going to be the grammar rule. Fluffier than, I see. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to go back and we're going to look at the course and lesson planner. So the course and lesson planner has general course information, and that is where I cheated and got the Burlington Grammar Index. So the general course information has the Burlington Grammar Index that you can print out, you can Control F, but it also has how to use Burlington Grammar. So kind of like a quick guide of how you're going to bring Burlington Grammar into your class, how are you going to use it with your class, and it has some really fun pictures that you can go along with as well. But I'm going to show you what the lesson plans are. So Burlington Core comes with built-in lesson plans. So Burlington Grammar comes with worksheets for teachers that follow the student worksheets. But we were looking at comparative adjectives. So we have our comparative adjectives worksheet that we can look at, along with a answer key. So we'll just open both of them. So this is the teacher notes. So it's going over what the comparative adjectives are, and it's telling you to print out the worksheet and make a copy for each student. And that is in relation to the student worksheet that we're going to open in a second. And so you can see it is a script. It is a step-by-step script that Laura is pointing out looks an awful lot like everyday English. So I'll use our switcher to go over to the worksheets and pull up the student worksheet. Okay. So I'm going to do something. Okay. So we have our teacher notes and we have our student worksheet. So if we scroll down and we look at our teacher notes, so hand out the worksheet and refer students to exercise A, which is the text. So this is exercise A, and this is the text. So we can have students use the text to present the grammar point by having students highlight examples of the structure in the text. So we can have students point out comparative adjectives. So looking at this first paragraph, what comparative adjectives can we find? So if you put in the chat, what comparative adjectives can we find in this first paragraph? So we can do an example together. higher than. Yeah. More expensive. Closer to. So we can look at the text, we can do the text together. If you're teaching online, you can use the Zoom annotation tools to look at the text together while your students write down their comparative adjectives for themselves. Okay, so now if we go here, so let's do number 1 together. The Montague apartment is, so the keyword is high. So what is our comparative adjective for the Crown Heights apartment? I thought I saw Catherine say the word. You feeling brave? You want to unmute? So you can do it if you don't want to do specific ones. So we'll look at the student lesson. So the student lesson comes with their own grammar rules, first page and second page, just like in-class lessons, because, you know, in class we're making spaghetti. Homework, you're also making spaghetti. You have your A to Z button. So my language is in Mandarin. So this is a translation. Anytime you see this A to Z book on the side, that's going to help with translations for your students. And then, of course, there is practice. And just like when students do student lessons for Burlington Core, you can see that their completion circle percentage is here, their best score, how much time they're spending. Students can write their answers and hit check. So there's a lot of practice and a lot of repetition. And again, purely supplemental because we've already gone over the student lesson and we've already gone over the in-class lesson in comparative adjectives in Burlington Core. And now we just want to enhance on this particular grammar lesson. Okay, so I know that I just zoomed on through everything. We looked at what's in the course and lesson planner, the in-class lesson, worksheets, student lessons. Progress is same. Right now, I don't have any students in my class, but soon. However, just based on what you saw today, how do you think you will be using Burlington Grammar to enhance your lessons? Or maybe we already have a teacher that is already using Burlington Grammar.
Do we lose Laura McCarthy? I'm going to call you out, Laura. Courtney, I know you use. Have you used it yet? No.
But I can see, I just started a new class of all Afghan refugees. And so I can see myself doing it, especially since it appears you can translate the grammar rules themselves. So if I just set mine to Dari and Pashto, I'll be able to do that. So I'm in. I'll let you know how it goes.
Super user Laura, how about you?
I have used it with some students that love grammar and they just want to do more when after we finish a grammar lesson and they just want to do more, and then I have showed them, but it's like a handful of students, so but I love it.
Yeah, some students feel like they're not learning English unless they're learning the grammar too, and some don't. Susie,
Yeah.
have you had a chance, Susie, to use it yet? Oh, you're muted. Sorry.
Not on the new one, the rest we're teaching virtually, but I do always use the Burlington. But the new one with the grammar, I have not implemented yet. I'm planning on it, and I have to agree too. All they want is grammar, grammar, grammar. Why do I use this? And it's going to be a wonderful tool. I'm so happy with the grammar coming.
Good.
It's going to be wonderful. And good thing with Burlington, you can do everything virtually.
You can.
You know, it worked perfectly.
It wasn't meant for that, but it just happens to
Yes.
work pretty well for that.
Yes, it's wonderful. I'm so happy about the grammar. I'm excited. Probably Monday I'll implement something.
Let us know how it goes.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Alex, I was going to ask if you wouldn't mind showing us that grammar index and where you find that Excel spreadsheet in that.
Yeah, absolutely. I was also gonna point out, so the grammar, so for every single level, so we have beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And so that follows the NRS levels. So NRS level 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But it doesn't matter what level you go in. Every single course and lesson planner and the general course information will give you the index. And then within the index, you can click here for the Excel version of it. So if you are, I mean, I truly do every single aspect of my life via an Excel spreadsheet. So you could always print it out, you can download it, you can, you know, write all over it, make a copy. And something that I did want to point out, especially since I think Laura was saying that, I think it was Laura. No, maybe. But she was saying that she uses the grammar in Burlington Core Low Intermediate. So within their course and lesson planner, there is actually like a scope and sequence. So every single Burlington core scope and has a scope and sequence. So you can actually see what grammar is going to be covered within that level. So using within this level, you can see that you'll be using a lot. So you can control find.
Control F, one of our
Yes.
favorite shortcuts.
Yes, definitely. So another question to ask for how will you be using Burlington Grammar is, when will you be using it in your class? Do you have an idea of, do you want to use it at the beginning? Do you want to use it at the end?
I can go.
Yeah.
I teach Monday through Thursday, and Thursday's grammar day. So I actually just did a paper last semester for grad school about explicit versus implicit grammar instruction. And I kind of landed on a little of both. So you guys featured heavily in my 103-page project, but
Can't wait to read it. Send it over.
oh yeah, I'm sure it's real interesting.
It's a light read.
But no, I always do it on Thursdays, and I know grammar is really, a lot of people push the implicit, but with how Burlington's set up, like I choose a lesson that's already relevant. I think the comparative one is in the housing unit, and that's what we're talking about right now is housing. So it is an explicit lesson within an implicit unit, maybe I should say. So anyway, the answer is Thursday.
So
To
both
give you
school
a
of thought
very,
for you.
yeah, to give you a specific day, it's Thursday at 11 a.m.
That's pretty good that you can devote a whole day to grammar, though. That's nice.
Well, I only teach, it's only 2 hours.
Yeah.
And then I link the student lesson in my Google Classroom. So then the implication is that they continue the lesson after we're done. Some of them more than others.
Yeah. Well, and I know Alex and I really zoomed through a lot of information in 1 hour, and you guys know me. I cannot stress this enough. If you need extra help, if I could sit down with your program, we could go over this in a half an hour with everybody, just more in detail, whatever you need to help you guys feel comfortable with all these new additions. I am always more than willing at any time of day. So anything you folks need, please let me know.
And I know that I don't, live in your area, but you can always come to me too, if Louis is bugging you. So what I was going to say is Courtney also pointed out something really wonderful, that you can still, with the student lessons in Burlington Grammar, you can still, what Louis was showing, copy and paste the URL as well. So any student lesson, so including Burlington Grammar, you can copy and paste and send it to your students. So the last thing that I wanted to point out before we, open the floor for questions is this handy dandy guide for how to use Burlington Grammar. And I'll go back and show you where to find that. Same place as the grammar index in the general information is how to use this grammar. So it's kind of taking ideas from teachers all over and combining them into kind of like a cheat sheet of when other teachers would use Burlington Grammar. So some ideas being whole group or small group targeted grammar lesson. So you can do that on Thursdays with Courtney. There's also following the worksheet step by step together. And a really fun one is taking 15 minutes at the beginning of class. And I think I saw someone pointed out in the chat, grammar at the beginning. So using grammar as a warm-up activity and doing it as a review. This could be, a warm-up activity of a grammar lesson that you learned last week, or maybe it's future, what grammar you're going to introduce for the day. And then, of course, copy and pasting and grammar for independent student practice. So if I were to even go to the student lesson right now and just copy and paste this link, I can put it in the chat and you guys would be able to open this student lesson. So just some ideas is using the whole group review in class, assigning student lesson for homework before the next grammar lesson, just to familiarize themselves for what they're going to be learning, and then completing the student lesson from the previous class as a warm-up. So different ways to calculate the student lesson and student independent work. You can also use the worksheets if you want. Lots of zooming, but does anyone have any questions about grammar?
Or anything else for that matter.
Anything.
Anything.
My favorite pie is key lime pie.
Because it's St. Patrick's Day?
Oh, I'm from Florida. Didn't even think about that.
Always.
Yeah.
Always your favorite.
I always wondered when the 5th dentist was going to cave in and they were all going to recommend Dentine.
I was gonna say that, last year we had done those couple of Teacher Tuesdays with you guys. And I just wanted to know.
I'll never know what we did last year.
Isn't that a great commercial?
Stay tuned.
Does he have WOW internet yet?
Right.
He keeps getting cut off.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're back.
I'm back. Okay.
What happened last year?
So last year we had done a couple of those. It says my internet's unstable. So if I go in and out, I'll just type it in the chat. How about that? We had done a couple of Teacher Tuesdays with you all. And so I wonder if, as we think to the spring or maybe summer, late summer, early fall, if we might do some Teacher Tuesdays around this grammar section for folks.
I'd love to.
That's a great idea.
I would absolutely love to. We can set that up. Is this something we'd be looking at for sketches that you're looking at, Patrick?
Well, I'd open it up to those on the call, what their feelings or thoughts are. If you, basically, we had done a 1-hour series every Tuesday for, like a 3-week period. We could offer sketches for it, but really it was just offering an opportunity. They're free, for you to attend. You could just come and have some one-on-one time with Louis and Brandi and Alex or whoever, they have from their team, and just have a working afternoon kind of a deal.
I'd love to survey the teachers using Burlington and come up with some good ideas.
Yeah, we'll meet. I already have
we
things I
will.
have to meet with Louis and Brandi about. So let's meet and let's think of some things like that. I think that'd be great.
Oh, we did it with 5 minutes to spare, and I just can't thank everyone enough for coming to our session. Greatly appreciate it. It's wonderful seeing everyone on the line here. And again, if you guys need anything, everyone has my cell phone number, has my email. Anytime you need anything, just let me know. I'm always available for you.
Thanks all. Enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you all. And thank you so much, Brandi and Louis and Alex. And we'll have a great afternoon, everyone. Take care.
Enjoy the 70-degree day.
Beautiful out.
Someone was outside attending.